fact, just wanted to come up and share something very quickly. Is that right?
Thanks. Hello. Sorry, I was yeah, I don't know what I'm going to say. I was just a bit. I suppose it's quite important, especially as it's been built up. But no, background. The last sort of couple of years have been very turbulent, shall we say, spiritually for me. I've always trusted and believed in a personal God and Jesus and all that, but it's never been real to me. I wouldn't say. Never really had a strong person. I wouldn't say it was real to me. And it's amazing. I'll start with how God, in my life, the last few days especially, from our most ridiculous decisions, most ridiculous mistakes, turns it into absolute glory and amazing. And I've never been excited by God really, to be honest. But the last few days, it's proven how awesome and amazing. It's just wonderful. But I'll give you the story. It's a good story. Some of it's quite funny, suits my humour. But on Tuesday, a few days ago, I made probably the most amount of mistakes in my life I've ever done in one day. And none of them were particularly terrible mistakes in general, but I made a lot. And I basically decided that I would get up. I didn't need to be in school for quite a while that day, but I had no intention of going to school. I skipped school, get on my bike, lock it up on Pagham Spit, and cross the Spit, and walk all the way to Selsey. And I actually walked all the way up to Wittering as well, just exploring, because I was in that sort of mood. But no, I was looking for someone who I care a lot about, who I'm not allowed to see, basically. And I knew I shouldn't have done it, but I still did it. And I knew it was wrong, but even just that, I've learnt a lot from the last few days. But so I spent the whole day up in Selsey and Wittering area, and quite a lot's happened in my life the last few weeks, months, that I'm, angry at God in a way, resentful and bitter, I suppose. Like we do, especially young people. It's all God's fault. It's all God's fault. We're very quick to blame Him, and not, we don't thank Him. I've heard that before, and it's very true. But so I did all that, and it all went terribly wrong in Selsey, and I caught out what I was doing, and I knew I made so many bad mistakes and errors and all that. But anyway, I came back from Selsey, and got to Pagham Spit, and it was the tide had come in, and I suddenly realised I can't actually get home without crossing the water, and it was fairly shallow. It's not very deep, but I could see it was a very strong current. I thought, and any other time I would ring up and say, look, you can come to Church Norton area and pick me up. But I was prepared to take the risk to avoid the awkwardness and the shame of what I'd done that day, because I'd done a lot wrong. But so I thought, right, I'm going in. And all the way I was walking back, I was angry at God. I was in a constant battle. I was shouting and swearing and cursing at Him, terrible. You don't do anything for me. And anyway, so it's time to go home. I was trying to get across to the Pagham bit of land from this island I was on. Take one step in and then another step in. And then very short, the current just took me. I was gone, woof, like that. And as soon as it took me, I thought, this is not good. This is it. And it dragged me under a little bit and dragged me round the back of the spit and further out. And it's so strong, you can't fight it. If ever you've been stuck in like a rapid or a current, you can't move. It was not good. But and I just thought it couldn't get, even before that, I thought my day couldn't have got any worse, all the decisions I made. And then that happened. I thought this could be the end of my life from just one step into this, our local, spit and all that. And anyway, I was getting dragged about and dragged further out, and I was conscious in the sort of where I was in the middle of nowhere, no one about. I thought, this is it. I've had it. The nearest person to me from what I could see was like a windsurfer up towards Bognor way. It was just completely desolate, deserted. No one there. I thought, this is terrible. And anyway, maybe 5 minutes after I was trying to escape it and fight it and all that, my feet found a bit of shingle, so I could stand up a bit. I thought, right. I still couldn't move any direction. I just held myself up. So I took my bag off and got my phone out in desperate last gasp hope, if you know what I mean. It was totally drenched, but it worked. Not very well. The buttons didn't work. It was making funny noises and going funny colours. But I managed to dial out to my mum. I couldn't hear what she was saying. But I just basically shouted, well, I was pag and spit, I need help now, basically. And then I feel terrible for my mum, because it must have been something out of a film, because she would have heard me shout out and a wave hit me, go under, and then the phone was dead. And it took them 40 minutes to get to me, anywhere near me. But no, I'll tell you about sort of how they did it in a minute. But whilst I was in the water, there's obviously panic, distress, how this can't be happening, It's amazing what you think about when you think you're about to die. And I did, I tasted death, really. It was terrible. And it got to a point, maybe 40 minutes into being in there, which I accepted that I was going to die. I knew in my head I was about to die. There was no way they would find me. That was it. It was the end of the line. And I don't know. I've not shared this bit with anyone before, but there's a song that quite close to my heart, which I doubt any of you would know. Not a spiritual one, but I found myself singing it, or saying it, because it would have sounded very distorted. But it was, I'll do it. It was. Although my life's been good to me, there's still so much to do. So many things my mind has never known. I'd like to raise a family, I'd like to sail away and dance across the mountains on the moon. I just kept singing it. And that's, if any of you know John Denver, that's that. But I just kept singing it, and that gave me motivation that, sort of keep going, it's not over. Words probably mean nothing to most of you, but to me it's very precious. And anyway, I saw this silhouette walking on the spit. So it's a long story, I know, Kane. And I was like, when I was shouting all that, and he stopped. I couldn't just make out he stopped, and he carried on. I thought, no, what are you doing? And he stopped again, and I saw him like panicking, and he went legging it off. I thought, oh great, he's got a boat or something, and he's going to get me out. But he didn't. I saw lots of other people appearing. Maybe a little bit after that, I saw the boat, rescue boat, go past me towards Bognor. I was like, great, just really rubbing it in now. But no, and then it did. It came back and found me, and I was just laughing with relief. And they pulled me in, and I was so cold. My body temperature was 30 degrees, and they said afterwards, we're talking a matter of 3-4 minutes, too later, and I would have been dead with the cold. So they took me back to Pagham Yacht Club and got in the ambulance and all that and wrapped me up. And I just stayed in hospital overnight, and I was fine, straight out. But it turns out the bloke who saw me on the spit, he was carrying his binoculars, like you said, and he never does that, ever. But he did that one time when he saw me. And the Coast Guards were on their way to Bognor, because that's where they thought I was. So he was like that, he's over here. So it's no doubt in my mind that was a complete miracle. It was. I mean, 1 minute I'm shouting abuse at God, the next minute I'm crying out to him. So he's got a good sense of humour. But it did appeal to me. It was amazing. It was, and probably for the rest of my life that will be the turning point for me. Because to me now it's a real power. He is real. He's exciting. He's faithful. So yeah. Sorry about that. Just thought I'd. Right, thank you.